This is the Chris Evans Drive Time podcast from BBC Radio 2.
So, Sal, you're in with the prune juice experiment. That song, of course, she moves in her own way. How's it going?
I haven't really been moving much. I had my half pint at 3:45.
Yeah.
And so I'm still waiting, really.
It was just under half pint, wasn't it? 250 millilitres is the designated dose from our prune expert.
I only know half pints because, it's down the pub and all that.
Chris, prunes best soaked in brandy, says Angela in Oxford. Maybe that's what we're missing.
That could be the extra push you need.
Let's not be too graphic, Sal. Chris, let's all eat prunes and start a mass movement from Normski in Fort William. All right. Weird, Chris. I was randomly thinking of prune juice. Don't normally think about it at all or drink it. And you open the show talking about it. What does this mean? Says Sarah Mundy.
It means you need prune juice. Chris, think it's a sign.
Thanks for sharing, but please, this prune talk, we love you inside out, but it's one soundbite too far. Glad you're feeling better though, says Elaine.
Oh, thank you, Elaine. Yes, do you think we're overdoing it a little?
It's my third day on the prune juice.
Oh, thank you. Yes, fine. And everything's all right.
Yeah, but it does work. It helps. And also, apparently it's got all this stuff in it, which we'll talk about in a moment or two, which is brilliant for our immune system, good for your energy. It's like it is the superfood, mademoiselle.
Well, it's one of them. I think beetroot is another one.
Yes, but you won't find as much arak in beetroot as there is in prune.
Now you're just showing off.
Because I've done my research. I've been researching all day. The whole country needs prune juice. Loving your prune news. Chris, if you want to make low-fat cakes, you can use prune puree instead of butter. It's moist and it's yummy, says Amy. I judge hotels on whether or not they serve prunes for breakfast. They're the best, Angie, from the Isle of Wight. Chris, I decided to go for the whole soaked prunes instead of juice. It works too, says Becky in Leicester. They love them in America, Christoph. There's even a prune festival in California. From M. We should do our show from there. Yes, let's do the show right there, in the middle of Prune City. Read Prune's definition of a pessimist, someone who puts prunes on their all-bran. Enjoy. Love, Ruth. Thank you for that, Ruth. We have a now nutritional biochemist from Manchester called Jeannette Jackson on the phone. And Jeannette studies the effect of different foods, what they have on the digestive tract. And Jeannette, it seems you're just the lady we need this evening.
Yes, I certainly am, Chris. You need prunes, you need Jeannette.
Good evening. You are an Aurak anorak. How come you're an Aurak anorak?
Well, I'm not a real anorak. I'm not a hello anorak. I'm just really interested in the biochemistry of foods and how our body responds to particular foods, and prunes being one of them.
So what is the Aurak in the anorak?
The Aurak. Oh my gosh, well, we could say Aurak because prunes have a very high Aurak rating, which is oxygen radical absorption capacity.
Ooh.
And that makes them the best antioxidant food known to man. So good link there, Chris.
So what does this mean?
What does it mean? Well, it actually means in real terms that they can help you to beat some of the deadliest diseases, such as cancer, heart disease and diabetes.
And why do they get on the move so quickly? How come they're so effective so immediately?
Well, because they contain a natural laxative called dihydrophenolisatin. And this is actually a laxative that's actually in the plant itself, in the prune itself. And the second that goes into your system, your body responds because it also contains some sugars called sorbitol and fructose. And the sugars, what they do, they act osmotically to prevent water removal from the facial matter and then soften the stools and allow for faster gut transit time.
So it's all about faster gut transit time and faster contractions generally?
Yeah, and it's kind of assisting in the peristaltic movement of the large intestine. I mean, one thing that we don't know, really, is, I know that your team has drank prune juice this afternoon, and prune juice can have an effect on a person almost within seconds, and other people it can really touch, and we don't quite know what the science is behind that one just yet.
I think I'm the most active because I've already been.
Have you been?
Yeah, nobody else has been, but there are rumblings in other parts on the other parts of the sixth floor.
I'm glad this is down the line kind of interview today, I have to say.
It's all very exciting. I don't mind it at all. I love a race of any kind.
Oh, dear, excellent. Well, I'm glad that you won that one then. But my mother, I have to say, she is prune fantastic. The second she eats prune, she's off. Whereas I have prunes most days for breakfast.
Yeah.
And, I have a very good bowel movement, but actually it's not. I don't have to run there and do that.
Now, if we get bloated, as many of us do, especially as we get older, we drink too much, we do all the wrong things, can it help you out like that as well?
Without a doubt, but the thing with the actual thing with this is it has to be consistent. You don't want to be putting prunes in there to make you go and then get bunged up again for another 5 days and putting prunes in there to make you go because you're setting up really a bad system within your intestine. What I would recommend to people is they have a mixture of prunes, as in the actual kind of, prune itself, and the prune juice. And I heard you mention just in the lead up to this that one lady soaks her own prunes, and that would be a perfect thing to do.
Soaking your prunes. So you can soak them in brandy. What else can you soak them in?
You soak them in brandy, and I would just suggest some still kind of mineral water or something like that. And what I normally do is soak about 5 or 6 the night before, and then you've got a great juice there. You've got very, very kind of plump prunes, and then if you're having, say, for example, some porridge for your breakfast, you can just stir them into that, and it adds great flavour as well.
And you don't mind this every day? Prunes every day is no bad thing?
Well, you see, the thing is, as a nutritional biochemist, I eat exceptionally healthy because it's my job, but it's my way of life now.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I always have the prunes every day because I understand and I've really reaped the benefits from having that. You know, you're talking to a person here who's actually had a history in the family of bowel cancer.
Yeah.
And anybody here now that's listening to this radio needs to be aware that in 2006, the number 6 killer in this country was bowel cancer and rectal cancer.
So prunes just generally are a friend all round, just the good guys of the earth.
They're a wrinkly, crinkly, gorgeous bundle of nutrition.
There you are, you see. And they are their own worst sub because the prune juice doesn't look too appetising. It's sort of a brownie, you know, not a bit of an untoward-looking liquid. If people can't face the prune, what comes in the runners-up spot?
OK, well, possibly second, really, is a kiwi fruit.
Yeah.
Kiwi fruit is very high, once again, in fructose and sorbitol, so that's known to really help with constipation also.
All right, listen, I'm going to give you a round of applause because you've been a great guest. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.